been making music ever since the crack boom. Country rap tunes.
Coming down.
Country rap tunes. Gotta have guitars and a lot of backbones. Come to the South once, I bet you'll be back soon.
Coming down.
Country rap tunes.
Coming down.
Country rap tunes.
You know what I'm saying? For real, man, you got to feel my young partner, Cory Mo.
What's up with it, man? It's your boy Cory Mo back off in this thing one more time for the Country Rap Tunes podcast. And I have a super duper special guest in the building, man. The culture referee is in the building, but I'm going to let my beautiful guest host, Kimberly Latrice Jones, introduce who we have in the building.
Y'all already know what time it is. It's Kimbo Slice with the dice, and we got a special one for y'all in here today. We have the culture referee, the king of connection, the one who pushed you down, the publishing guru, the music maven, delicious and nutritious, good for you and good to you, the king of this industry and this generation. Yeah, I said it. Argue with your mama, Ray Daniels.
You ain't gotta like it, but you gotta respect.
Thank you for that introduction. That was incredible. I probably did not pay Kim for that, guys, but I would have.
It's going down. So look here, young Ray, man. I wanna take it all the way back like time machines, man. Tell me how you got started. How did it all start? How did you get the music bug?
I didn't get the music bug. I was just working at Delta. I was going to school, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and somebody I went to high school with, and he happened to go to college with me, my junior college with me, just was like, I need to talk to you. And then he would say it all the time. Then one day he flagged me down on Old National, just flagged me down, like, pull over. And I'm like, what's up? Like, nice summer day, and maybe a spring day. And he was like, yo, man, I really wish you could help me with something. He never told me what it was. So I was like, cool. So he called me like a month straight, every day, like, but it was always at night, which was weird to me. It was like 11 o'clock at night. Like, yo, bro, come to the house. I'm like, come to the house at 11 o'clock at night? Like, we ain't cool like that. Yeah. So one night I took my roommates with me. I was like, somebody calling me, like, just roll me out. He cool, but I don't know him. Like, I don't know what he up to. So I went to his house. He had like a whole keyboard set up. He just played me a whole lot of music. And he was like, since we were kids, when you spoke, people listened. So I feel like if you spoke about what I'm doing, we can make a whole lot of money together. And that was the inception of how it was. And I was so eager to do something. I was so eager for my purpose that I was like, maybe this is what God want me to do. And I just jumped in head first.
Wow. That's off the chain.
Yeah, no, that's a lived experience right there. So how did you link up with Rock City?
Okay, so I was an intern for this guy named Paris Johnson, and he had an artist that he was working with named Michael. Michael was one of those artists who was like really talented, but he was really ambitious. So he was the artist that was like, you and me gonna be partners, and we're gonna sign writers, and this. And one of the writers that he so happened to have signed to him was a guy named Theron. I'm an intern. My assignment that day was...
What an intern, Theron.
Man.
I was the intern.
No, he was the intern.
I was the intern. Theron was my assignment for the day. Like, they had like 5 or 6 writers, like Jacarla, CK, and Theron was one of them. So it was like I was always around everybody else, but then now they like drive Theron.
What year was this, you think?
This had to be, I could tell you what year it was because Theron's daughter Theron's baby mother was pregnant with Cameron. Cameron is, I think, 21 now.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So we always measure our friendship based on her age because when I met Theron, Cameron was in his stomach and he was like, I'm really an artist, but I'm going to start trying to write songs because I got a daughter on the way. That's why he went to the songwriting more than his brother did because he was the one, he's like, I got a daughter on the way. I got to make sure my daughter's okay. And if the artist stuff ain't working, then I could do the songwriting thing. Right. So that's what he was. And the goal was to make sure that his daughter didn't know what struggle was by the time she was 5. And by the time she was 5, she did not know what that was.
I love that.
Man.
And the crazy part was that I wasn't even his manager. I was just driving him that day. So now the guy who I'm interning for, I shout out to P, but he was a cheap nigga. So P was the type of nigga to be like, I'm an intern, so and at the same time I don't have a man in my life like that. So sometimes you get to that point as a man where you feel sorry for yourself. So I'm like, yo, P, man, I need some gas money, I need some food money, like I'm running around for you. And he was like, man, all right, man, here, $10. So now I'm by Turner Field when it was on. I want to give you the understand what that $10 was supposed to do.
Yeah.
I live off Old National. I'm interning at the office off by Turner Field. I got to go all the way to Stone Mountain to get to Ron, and then go all the way to Alpharetta to go to Mondo Corleone's house. And then
This is when Turner was on Capitol.
This is the original Turner Field. Yep, that was on. So I had to go do that. So he gave me $10, so it's kind of like $3 each, $7 for gas. And I got to go pick Theron up, take him over. And mind you, when I'm done with the session, I got to go back from Alpharetta to Stone Mountain, back to College Park. I don't got enough gas money. So the session, I'm an intern, so it's not like I could drop them off and go leave, like where I'm going. Yeah. So I sit in every session, every creative session. That's why I think I got really good at A&R because I had to be in the room because my guys that I was managing didn't drive.
Damn.
So it was kind of like I had to stay there for every step. Mm-hmm. So we was in the studio with Mondo, and Mondo was like, yo, you dope, like come back tomorrow. So me and Theron like, hell yeah, we come back tomorrow. This the biggest house I've ever been in my life at this point. Damn. Like I'm like, I want in, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, come out tomorrow. So Theron's like, cool. And then he kind of looked at me like, come back tomorrow. And I was like, yeah. But we got in the car. I was like, dog, I don't have enough money to get you back tomorrow. So the first day I met Theron, he was like, well, look, we set this room up for my daughter. You can sleep in that room. So the day I met him, I spent the night at his house. Because I didn't have you to my young niggas, everybody broke.
So the first day y'all met,
the first day I met, because he had to go back to the studio the next day. Mind you, I'm not his manager.
It's meant to be, man.
I'm just the intern that's there to make sure that Michael and Parrish's writers get to their session. So, but we hit it off. And I think the day I met him, I told him I didn't like his music. It's so crazy because I feel like a lot of us don't allow God's intervention to make his way into our lives. And as I tell a story, it becomes so crazy how I didn't know I was going to be his manager. We was just friends. We just knew we loved each other. It was like instant. And it was like, I didn't know what he was going through. And I'm telling him the day I meet him, yo, your music sucks. Meanwhile, in his mind, he's like, man, I'm famous in the Virgin Islands. And everybody tells me how great I am. And here's the first person I ever met that told me I wasn't great. So in his mind, he's like, I want to be friends with this guy. And I just thought, I don't want to be friends with you if I don't tell you the truth, because what if Michael tells you I thought the music was whack? So I was kind of just saving face, like, oh, you the guy? Damn, I said your music. It's kind of like, damn, I like you. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, I said your music was whack, though. And he was like, nah, that's cool. Yeah. That's cool. And then, we was instantly friends. It's so crazy because I had another artist I was pushing. You need
friends like that that's gonna tell you the truth,
yeah, but
bro.
I don't think people don't understand. That's who you should build with.
Right.
That's who you should build with. Build with the people you like being around the most. Build the people you like being around the most, but also the people that you like being around because you're getting better, not the people that you like being around because they keep you make you feel comfortable being in the same place. Like, be around friends that make you better, that call you out. Like, I don't want to be friends with somebody that don't call me out. I don't want to be friends with somebody that don't tell me when I'm fucking up, because we don't see ourselves. Yeah. None of us do. We just all all of us in this room is living our life not seeing ourselves. So you never know. You know what I'm saying? So when I told him that, and then it's crazy because it was one moment in particular where the artist that I was pushing, he didn't really want it, but he had a little buzz. And you in the business, you know how this shit go. Like, you got the one that got a little clout that if he does one right move, it's going to change. Then you got the other one who has no clout, but he has the desire. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of like, he don't want it, but Theron did. And he quit on me one night. It's so crazy. No, the artist did. But he quit on me a night that I had Theron in the car, which was weird because we was friends, but we wasn't every day together friends. It was just kind of like, like when we see each other, what's up, bro? It was like that. And I was taking Noah home, and he quit. And he literally said, in front of Theron, by the way, Theron just happened to be my friend in the car, and he quit. And he was like, I don't know if I want to do music like that. And mind you, at this time, I done quit my job. I done left my girlfriend. All I got is him. So I'm like, nigga, we got to make it. And he was like, I don't know if I want to do this like that. And then when he got out the car, it was just me and Theron. And then Theron, ironically, he says, if me and my brother had someone that cared about us as much as you care about him, I know we'll be rich. I still don't think, or he don't think for me to be, because his manager, we still broke. So it's kind of like, it's almost like that's nothing we don't acknowledge. When you in a struggle, you really ain't got time to think about how the end gonna go out. You just trying to get through the day, to get to tomorrow, to attempt to try it tomorrow. So he was in the car, and we didn't even think about that. And then, ironically, I wound up doing some business. I got a studio, and then when I got that studio for Noah, he never showed up because he didn't want it like that. Yeah. Meanwhile, Theron showed up, And Theron would be hanging out with his friend. Like, I'm his friend that's on a little bit more than him. Remember, they still broke, but I got an artist signed, so it looked like Ray made it in their mind. So Theron is showing up to my studio like, damn, man, it's so good to see you made it. Yo, can I use the studio? I was like, go ahead. He not using it. And he taught himself how to record, and he recorded songs, and he was working in the studio every day. I wasn't his manager. And then one day, somebody was like, why don't y'all work together? And I was like, damn, why don't we work? Because it's like, we friends. We just trying to make it in life. It's like we ain't thinking about the relationship. It's like, if you make it first, pull me up. If I make it, you pull me up. But the idea of us making it together was never in our heads. And then once we agreed to that was like 2006, man. We've been locked in
20 piece.
Almost 20 years, bro. 18 years. That was 2006 when I decided to manage him. But I've been knowing him since I was friends with him 2 or 3 years before that. I think we met 2003.
What about Tim? Did you?
I didn't know Tim because, see, Theron had a baby on the way. So when he had a baby on the way, Tim, you know, you got to understand how women are back then. They 20 and 22-year-old kids. You got a baby on the way. She like, nigga, you can't be chasing your dream with your brother while we got a baby on the way. So Timothy goes back to the Virgin Islands to get a job. Theron stays, and Timothy is the organized one. Theron is all over the place. Yeah. So Theron is not the guy that's going to get a job. He's the guy that'll get a job and then tomorrow forget he had a job and don't go to work. Timothy was the one that would get up in time, get up in the morning, handle his business. That was always Timothy's responsibility. So the reason why they were so dope was because while Timothy was working at Publix, walking back and forth every day to work, packing bags at Publix, Theron was out writing songs. So when they made it, even if Theron made it a songwriter, they still helped each other. They still split the money 50-50 because they were still helping each other. So I didn't even get to know Timothy until later in life. I knew Theron for at least a year before I knew Timothy because Theron was in the studio. Timothy was working. Yeah. So it was just like that. And then me and Theron were so close that I was like, yo, and I was like, but I want to manage y'all, but how would Timothy feel? Because Theron was in the studio every day writing songs. Yeah. Timothy was working. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know, talk to him. So he talked to Timothy. Timothy was like, cool. And I always reminded them of their father. Because their father a Virgo like me. So I always reminded them of their dad, because their dad was a no-nonsense dread. Like, fuck that, I don't care about none of that, y'all gonna do it. And I was the same way. So it was like our styles just matched. And they was preparing for this shit since they was kids. So with other artists where I had to ask them to jump, I didn't have to ask these guys to jump. They were jumping already. I just said jump over there or let's jump over here. It was like they was doing the work. So I tell everybody, like, fuck who you think gonna go. Go who you know wants it as bad as you. That's what you're going with.
When did he start jamming? Since he wasn't jamming at first.
He wasn't.
How long did it take for him to start jamming?
A year. A year. It was a year of me developing him, not knowing what development is, not knowing anything. Like, I don't know anything.
Not knowing A&R.
I knew A&R because I had an artist that got signed, so I knew how to make records a little bit.
But to
develop a writer.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, he's a writer. That means he's writing songs for other people compared to you just need to write a song for yourself. And if we like it, you write songs for other people that we need them to believe in you to take it. So he was right. So he would do all of these, like, and it was weird because it was like, there's no excuses. There's never an excuse. I don't give a damn what world you want to be in. There's always a reference. I mean, I don't care if you want to be in music. You can't say, I don't know nothing. You know what you like, though. Yeah. Play what you like. Then play what you're doing. If they don't feel equal, now you can measure it. So with Theron, he was writing songs and he would do these like big intros, like right about now, it all goes down, big tune, big tune, big tune. And then it would be like a 45-second intro. And I'd be like, bro, the fucking intros are too long. But I'm only realizing that because I'm listening to other songs and I'm like, nobody other. And I'm like, and what person wants an intro from a writer? And it's my song. I don't want you on it. Give me a 45-second intro. So it was always then it would be like he'd be writing songs and then we'll be having meetings with A&Rs. And if you listen to learn and apply, you can't lose in life. Because all the answers are in front of us. A lot of us are just like, and I'm the type of person like, which one should we pick? Oh my God, which one? And I'm just like, make me this one. Yeah. See what this, because it's like, we're going to have to pick something. Yeah. And contemplating just slows us down.
You got to apply it.
Yeah, so for me, it was like, so the thing about Theron was he was learning and applying. And then I would be like, yo, man, like, you too sappy. And Theron was very, very sensitive back then. Like, he's a Pisces, so he's very sensitive. He's very emotional. You know Pisces, so y'all are both emotional.
Very sensitive. So he was really easy.
But then he was that, and then but he wasn't. He was sensitive. Like, he can take abuse for music. If you tell him to do some music, he could take that. But he was a lover, so he was kind of like, I'm only doing all this to make her happy. That's the kind of person he was. And I would be like, you too fucking sappy. And one day, Akon said, just randomly was like, you in rooms. He was like, yo, like I said, I'm listening to apply. Akon said, if they challenge themselves to not be sappy, they'll be huge songwriters. So I was like, damn. So now I'm like, you too sappy. And then it was like, everything he did, I was like, that's not it. And then he wrote this song called Music for Love. I'll play you the demo. I have it. And you're an engineer, so you'll understand this. He knew how to record himself. He didn't know how to fly hooks. So he sung the song from beginning to the end. So when I hear it, I get kind of emotional because I can hear the pain in his voice. Yeah. You can hear him searching for the answer. So I never forget, he called me in the room and he was like, Ray, I think I figured it out. And he plays me this song, Music for Love. But it wound up being a Mario single.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I wound up playing Music for Love. And I was like, damn, I think. And it was like clever. It was like, girl, turn me up and let me come through your speakers, blow the sound out of your tweeters, because this the music for love. He was talking about sex, but making it a music reference. So I was like, damn, that's kind of dope. Yeah. So that was the first record that we ever sold. Well, we sold that he made. He recorded maybe like 600-700 songs that whole year, but that was the only one we sold.
600 or 700.
But mind you, he recorded. He physically sat in the room. He would sleep in the studio and make song after song after song, and we only sold one. And the crazy thing is that we sold that one later. We weren't even trying to make money as songwriters. I'm being honest with you. This was an artist story. Wow. But it was just, we didn't have control over the artist shit, because you signed to this person and this person and that person, and then that person got to sign off, and that person feels like this. So it was a lot of things we had to get through to get to the other side. Right. And we didn't understand because we were confused, because how are we writing hits for Jennifer Hudson, Sean Kingston, Pussycat Dolls, for all these artists, and if to us it was y'all are sleeping on us. That's how we thought. Right. Me understanding now, 20 years in, our problem is that because we were winning doing one thing, we thought we can do the same thing and win over here. Right. So when if I can give everybody in here a song, just think about this. You. When it comes to me, I have to clearly know who I am. Because if I don't know who I am, then I'm like, I'm everything y'all are. Right. Like if you listen to Jennifer Hudson, If It Isn't Love. If this isn't love, then tell me what. If you hear that, hey, that was Theron screaming on the song. That was one of the demos that he would scream on, because he would scream on records. And then Harvey Mason was like, yo, let's leave them screams there. And we was like, you sure? And then he was like, yeah, I like the way it brings the energy to a power ballad. So it was always like learning and applying, getting in the room with this person. Damn, look, what he just said, learn. Okay, that's dope. Get in the room with that person. And all these people were our teachers. But because fear motivated us, because fear was our motivation, we had, it's like kind of like telling a kid, don't do that, don't do that, do that, do that. You so afraid of getting that ass whipping that you remember every lesson. Yeah. So we would take in every lesson and apply, and then it'll work, and now it becomes a part of our arsenal. So all of these things will happen over years, and it was like, it was always a quest to be great, because we knew if we were great, we could feed our family. That was all we cared about. Greatness means I could feed my family. That's why him winning the Grammy for Songwriter of the Year was so big, because that was the first thing we ever cared about that we couldn't control. Man. We couldn't control the artist thing, but we didn't know we couldn't control it. We thought we did, and we fucked it up. But the Grammy thing was something that we knew we couldn't control, but we wanted it. So that's why it meant so much, because it was like, and it was also everybody acknowledging that this 41-year-old man is on fire, and how many in the black creative world, black creators have an expiration date. For sure.
So look, 20 years later, how did it feel for them to call his name for that Grammy?
Every lesson that we learned was right.
Straight up.
Because you got to think about it like this. Like,
you got to fail to win.
Nah, but it's not even, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. You got to decide what you want from this. And that's what people didn't understand, that we was decided on what we wanted from this. You couldn't offend me as long as I got the dollar that I came here to get, because that's all I came here to get from you. So if you disrespected me or you offended me, I wasn't bothered by that, because, nigga, I didn't come here for that. You are a vessel to help me feed my mother. I don't give a fuck who you are as a person. Nigga, let's do what we got to do so I can get this money. And that's who we was. But let's learn the lesson from this nigga, because he's in the room leading for a reason. And that's who we've always been. Theron is the GOAT. And I'm going to tell you why he's the GOAT. Because he's the GOAT because it's hard to be a hit songwriter 20 years in. let's be clear. Everybody has an expiration date. Michael Jackson had an expiration date. But it's those people who understand it's not about me. It's about the craft. Because the minute that you make it about you is when you lose it all. It's never about you. It's about the craft. So Theron and I tell everybody the story. You want to know what Theron is? 2014. We on fire. We got Rihanna Poured Up out. We got Kelly Rowland Kissing Down Low. We got Miley Cyrus, We Can't Stop. We got this single, that single, this single, that single. And all of a sudden, super producer Dr. Luke wants to work with us. Now, Luke is the biggest producer in the world then and still is now. Nobody has more hits than him.
Damn.
Nobody, not nobody, right? And he is talking to Theron like a student. Now, mind you, Theron could have came in and been like, nigga, I got hits too.
Right.
But Theron was like, nigga, you got more. What do you know? And he literally said, 2013, 14, me and him had made a pact. He was like, Ray, right now, everybody's telling us to go get a label deal. Everybody's telling us to go get everything because that's what you do when you on fire. But nigga, let's go to school. So I'm going to sit under Dr. Luke for the next 2 years. You sit under L.A. Reid for the next 2 years. And let's learn everything we can from them two and then bring it back to the table. So we was always improving every year. No, everything was a plan. But it was also fly under the radar, fly under the radar, fly under the radar. Because the minute niggas know you getting it is the minute that they want to kill you.
Come after it, yeah.
So fly under the radar. And the only time we ever went big was Grammy Songwriter of the Year. But you know, that's a quiet thing. That's not like something you got to say out loud. You got to kind of work behind closed doors to get on the nomination list, consideration. And then the nomination came and it was like, oh shit, this might be the moment. And it was.
No,
that's
so
cold-blooded.
I'm talking about.
The whole idea of crafting, learning, being up under people. I know that's something me and Cory both relate to a whole lot because everybody knows the influence of the relationship that Cory had with Pimp C, and everybody knows my, the relationship that I had with Ball and MJG, and also with Dallas, and those two different moments in my life, Dallas first, and then Ball and G, how it had such a massive effect on who I am, even though I'm a writer. Like working for these music guys really sculpted the way that my pen is and everything.
And the way you think, the way you attack things,
Dallas definitely is the reason that I think the way that I think.
For sure.
I was like 19 and Dallas's little intern back in the 90s when DARP was.
Man, by the way, can we just take 20 seconds to shout out Dallas Austin?
Yeah.
I think, now we can clap for real. I don't think we as Atlanta give him as much credit and appreciation for the greatness he's created with the nonchalant attitude he's done it with. Because he's done what Kanye has did without Kanye rants. Right? He just did it smart, and he always went and he won. So and he's from College Park. I love Dallas Austin. Like, I love that. I love Dallas. So, sorry, go back into
No, Dallas is my love. Like, Dallas, my cousin that I unfortunately lost in 2020, my cousin, Gerald Henson, was a session musician. And he played for Dallas, and, like, Jermaine and, like, all these different people would always use my cousin on the keys. And, unfortunately, my cousin got incarcerated. And while he was incarcerated, he wrote a letter to Dallas and was like, my little cousin just moved here from Chicago. She's 19. I want to make sure she's straight. Nothing's, going on with her. She needs an internship. Can she come work at DARP? She went to film school, but she knows music because we come from a musical family. And that's how I ended up getting my internship with Dallas. My cousin wrote him a letter from jail saying, look out for my little cousin. But
the fact that a letter was written from jail to one of the biggest music moguls in the city, and he took it on, lets you know who Dallas Austin is. I just say, and by the way, he's the only person that I know that has 2 successful movies made about his life. Like, how the fuck do you do that? And no one even acknowledges it.
Because people forget that Drumline
is Dallas's life, and ATL is ATL. Like, he has 2 movies. And by the way, it was like the fact that he's done all this under the radar, and he still can kind of walk down the street and people don't know him is incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah, no.
Shout out to his son Tron too, man. I produced a dope record for Tron a long time ago. Captions, the big record.
That's my little man. Shout out to Tron. Shout out to Chili too, because if we don't shout out Tron without Chili gonna score. Shout out Tron and the great job Chili has done raising that young man. You better get it right. You know Chili.
Hold up, man.
You gotta love Chili. Chili is one of those. It's funny. But like one of my first jobs in the city too, one of my first TV jobs in the city, before we did Being Bobby Brown, the two women I was working for that did Being Bobby Brown, Tracy Baker Simmons and Wanda Shelley, what we had been working on for years before we figured out what to do with Being Bobby Brown was we were trying to do a puppet show with Chili and T-Boz to go on PBS.
Oh, wow.
So we were taking these meetings with PBS and like all of the children's affiliates, trying to get this puppet show that was going to be voiced by Chili and T-Boz. And I think Dallas maybe was going to like work on the music or something like that, but we ended up doing Being Bobby Brown instead, and then Welcome to Dreamland with Drummer and Jazzy. But what I'm saying is all of those people that I've been around, whether it was them, the time I spent working for Tyler, when I worked at Miramax and worked for Jesse Berdinka, who was the executive that put together Paid in Full, all of that, it was the teachers, the learning, the students, but it was also me understanding that I wanted to get really good at my craft and knew who I wanted to be. Do you see a lot of that now? Like, what do you think about the state of music right now in terms of people being able to have those kind of like developmental relationships?
I think that, and this is a kind of like a conundrum, because I think that the problem with the music is also the blessing, is that there's more money now than ever. But the problem is that because money makes people lazy, and money is making talent think that they're bigger than what they are. And I was thinking about something. Pay attention to this. And I was gonna say this to talent, but I'll say it here, is you gotta pay attention, talent, to like the waves, right? And if you follow the wave direct, like for example, I don't know where Jay-Z is in life to charge for a show, right? I don't know where he is. But wherever he is, I guarantee you it's been consistent growth every year, right? Every year is that. And I think that, and then you get to this point where you can disappear and that number remains the same. But that's what I'm trying to tell artists that they need to focus on. Just because you're getting $100,000 a show today doesn't mean you're going to get $100,000 a show 4 years from now.
That's right.
Right? So sometimes you hold yourself to that $100,000 a show, and when you get down, now people are offering you 50, now you kind of fucked up. Like, man, I'm only getting 50. Fuck that. I ain't taking that 50. I'm 100. Nah, take that 50. Take that 50, because people are essentially paying you to do what you wanted to do for free as a dream. And sometimes we allow the money and the flow of it to control how we move. So even with me, it's like, even me as a podcaster, I was in the AT&T store yesterday. I saw this young dude. I guess he recognized me. He was like, he sent me a text like, yo, man, could you just check out my pod? Tell me what you think. I was like, I'll do it. And this nigga looked at me like, what? I'm like, why wouldn't I? I'm a black man that sees another young black man trying something, and you didn't ask me. So I volunteered my service to you. If you would have asked me, it probably would have made me look like, hold on, let me do it. But I'm like, you always cool, nigga. You asked me to check it out, I'll do it.
Right.
I never seen y'all, but I'll do it. I don't give a. I don't look at it like, oh, this. No, one hand helps another hand as a community, and I can't tell people to do that if I'm not the example of doing that. So I show up for as many people as I physically can. Unapologetically, because when I say I can't, I don't feel bad, because I done showed up for so many other people. I want to show up for my kids too. Y'all can't own me, my nigga. Like, goddamn.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just the music business is going through a transition period, and artist development is very difficult because artists are making money. So it's like that's why if you look at the NBA, the game is getting a little bit better, because you can't come straight from high school anymore. So they telling you, I don't care what you do, but you're going to take a year off after high school to go work on the craft.
Right, at a higher level.
At a higher level in high school. And that's what I feel like music needs. It needs, like I work with L.A. Reid, and the one thing I saw that he did that I don't see being done. The only thing I saw he did that I didn't see him done was he always moved the goalposts. Man, this is where we going. You're going right here. Like, yo, that's what we aiming for. By the time you get here, he already did this. So now you're always chasing. And mind you, it's a fun process. You don't realize it, because what we don't talk about is how good if progress makes us feel. Like if you're working out, you get on that scale, you're working, you in doing something and people are returning your calls, that feels good. So what LA would do, he would move the goalpost. So he would tell Travis, what you doing is great. But let me tell you what's greater than that. Doing that for, because Travis had a show, he was like, you did a show for 1,500 kids, incredible, you the GOAT. But it's crazier than 1,500 kids screaming your name? 20,000. It's like that moment in the Social Network where he was like, it's cooler than a million? A billion. Change the whole nigga perspective. That's sometimes what you need. You might be thinking Atlanta. I might tell you we can get Georgia. Now you're like, damn, we can get Georgia. I'm like, fuck, I think we can get the United States.
Yep.
You know what I'm trying to say? But you need that person to push you. Yep. And I feel like these artists' only goal is not, the artist's goal is no longer greatness, it's money. So because you're chasing money, everybody's making money, but we have no more greatness. And the only way we're going to get greatness is if you put money to the side and care about what it means to be great. And that means now looking at the people before you, the Princes, the Michael Jacksons, the Beyoncés, the Chris Browns, the Ushers, looking at them saying, what did they do? I want to do that. And that means maybe on year 2 when you're on fire, you don't make $3 million, you don't make $10 million, you make 4. But nigga, you going to make 4 forever. You never get lower than 4. Now you risked it and went for the 10.
Yeah.
Dog, think about how many artists we have in this world right now who were hot a year and a half ago, headlining festivals that we don't even know where they at now.
You ain't lying.
Where's Giveon?
That's a fact.
And I ain't even, that nigga's incredible, but where is he? You want to know where he is? Let me tell you what happened. He was making a lot of money.
A lot of money, got
And
comfortable.
then he got comfortable making a lot of money, and he forgot that he was making a lot of money because of music. So that's what I'm saying. You're going to have to give and take.
You got to keep that passion.
You got to give and take. If you got to, and I'm not singling him out. I'm only thinking about him because I remember watching him headline Lollapalooza and watching like 100,000 people singing with him. And then somebody asked me about him yesterday. I was like, where the fuck is he? So that's why I singled him out. But my point is that there's too much money in the ecosystem. And what they don't understand is that the money has no emotion to it. So they're just throwing it at you because it's a throw it at you time. But pay attention now. Don't it like shit tightening up?
Yeah.
Don't like shit drying up. That's why everybody want Donald Trump so bad, because everybody's pockets drying up from 2020. Everybody trying to figure it out now. And now it's the trickle down. Now the companies are drying up. Now companies are firing. Now comes AI. We all embrace AI, but we don't realize AI going to take our jobs.
You ain't lying.
So nobody's thinking on their toes. Everybody's trying to figure it out. And now we at this place where I think the bubble is going to burst. It's going to burst. Because if you were chasing something, it's like a woman. If she fucking me only for money, when the money get low, what's she going to do?
Run.
Exactly. So now we going to see the artists that only want the money doing what? Running. Fuck the music industry. Y'all did me dirty. I was like, okay, cool. Now let's make room for the greatness. Now who wants to really be here? Because that's who I want. I want the people that want to be here, not the people who's trying to get money. Because I've been here 20 years. I made a lot of money, and I want to make a whole lot fucking more.
I know that's right.
I know that's
You know
real.
what? Can you explain a little bit about the publishing side? Because a lot of people get publishing confused, signing to a publisher, getting publishing admin, or signing to a label. The label own your publishing. How do you get it back? It's like it's like publishing is just some kind of, you know what I mean? It's like rocket science to people, man.
It's really not. It's really not.
It's not.
I'm gonna break it down, try to simplify it.
Yeah.
When a song gets made, there's the master and then there's the publishing, right? The master is the ownership of the sound recording, right? That's the master. The publishing is of the words and the music in the song. That's the publisher. So you can write a song 100% and own the publishing, and I can pay for that song and 100% own the master.
On the master.
I get paid from streaming and all the other stuff that comes from it, master, sync clearances. You get paid for the same thing on your side. Only thing is that on the streaming side, master get paid 6-1 right now.
Oof.
So that means if a record goes platinum, if you wrote a song and completed it 100%, and I'm the singer and I own the master, if that song goes platinum, I made $540,000. You made 90.
Because you 6 times.
No,
more
because I own the master, and the way the master pays out, it pays out more.
Right.
Because it's the audio recording and the publishing, so it pays out 6-1 right now. I think that just passed a law that's going to change that. But so what I tell people, when people come talking about I got a gold record, a gold single, I'm like, oh, you got a gold single, dope. How much did you produce on it? How much you own on it? I own 25%. Okay, you want to know what a gold single gets you streaming? 100%, $45,000. So if you own 25% of the song, you own about $11,450. That's how much you made for 25% of a gold record. That is what I mean by you got to continue to work. No, it's not even that. You can own publishing, but you got to keep in mind you got to be everywhere. You got to put up more shots, more shots. So now that means it is. But now, what does that do? That opens up the door for everybody else that want great songs. Because there's only one Beyonce, and there's only 17 songs on that, and there's fucking 300,000 people trying to work on that. So now who's the next Beyonce that I can give a Cowboy Carter song to?
You know what?
And that's how we build a new artist. But now you got to develop him, do all that stuff. So that's why I know it's going to play out.
What's up with it, man? It's your boy Cory Mo. I need everybody to go and download the mobile app, Country Rap Tunes Radio, 24/7 non-stop Southern hip hop. All your favorite throwbacks. It's available on Android and it's available on iPhone. Also, I need you to log on to countryraptunes.com, support a player. If y'all looking for that fly merch, you already know what it is. Also, you can get all your exclusive Country Rap Tunes podcasts there. Everything involving Country Rap Tunes. You know where to go. You know what to do. Holla at your boy. Chech.
Country Rap Tunes.
So, you know what I want to talk about.
Let's go.
Because you and I had an interesting coexisted experience, even though we weren't living it together in 2020.
Yep.
Because we both decided to cuss out America. So
I say educate America.
we both decided to go on an educational journey for this country. And you wrote an open letter called Dear White Music Executive, which initially was released anonymously. So I just want to know what made you write it, and then what made you decide to claim it, because it initially came out anonymous.
I'm going to try to keep this story under 2 minutes. George Floyd just died, and white America felt very sorry for black America at that moment. Warner Records calls a 911 call for everyone company-wide. Get on a call. They usually give you a day. If it's a company-wide call, they usually give you a week. Like, hey, everybody, next Wednesday, clear your schedules. Boom, boom, boom. They didn't do that this time. They said, everybody get on the call. I thought one of our artists died. I thought something bad happened, because I'm like, why? Like, I remember I was like, damn. I remember I was at the Krispy Kreme on Highway 85, because I remember thinking like that I was going to get family donuts, and I was like, damn, me get home, and it was like, get on now. I'm like, now, I get on. I'm like, car, trying to be professional, because they still was kind of asking you to stay near your computer or near your phone. But I was trying to be professional, because they also, on this particular call, they requested that everyone show their face, which is like, that's not normal. Like, cause usually, because they usually give women the respect of they don't have makeup on, they don't feel like they're presentable. They usually give women that respect, but it's like, everybody get on the next 15 minutes, show your face. I'm like, something's happened. Then we get on, and they're like, we're seeing the uprising of what's happening with Black America, and blah, blah. We want to ask everybody. And I was like, that's what this shit is about, George fucking Floyd. Like, niggas is numb to that. Like, it was just another bad day for us in America, but we was numb to that. So they was making such a big deal of it. I was like, and then Aaron, who's the CEO of Warner, ends the call. Mind you, no one said anything. They was just asking, like, this was kind of like a mental health check. And then they was like, Aaron said, now mind you, just about 125, 130 people on the call. Aaron says, do any African Americans on the call want to talk about how they feel? And I'm like, what the fuck? Nigga, it's a miracle that we here. We black, nigga. We numb to this shit. We was prepared for this shit. This ain't new to us. We done seen us, like, dog, we've seen images of slaves, black men getting hung in movies. We are used to us being abused. Yeah. So it was weird to me that Aaron, my friend at the time, said that. So I kind of was like, let me write my friend an email.
And also to put the labor on the black people to navigate the conversation.
See, I don't even, that's how black women think. As a black man, I don't think like that. I'm just like, hey, man.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna say shit. And I was just trying to explain to them why. Like, hey, look, let me give you the black experience. It's a miracle we here. We was taught, we always have been told we're gonna work twice as hard to make half as much as our white counterparts. It's what we taught in our homes. Right? Black families know to set the expectations at the black table. It's a conversation that we have. So I was just trying to enlighten them. Like, dear white music executives, let me explain to you why we don't speak. And here's another reason. You guys are in control of everything. We don't see a black man at the end of the rainbow that we can go to and say, hey, this was wrong. We don't have a Clarence Avant. We don't have anybody. So we're just lucky to be here, and we're blessed to have a job. So when you ask us about issues outside of our job, we're not even mentally trained to go there. We are taught to separate your feelings from when you get to that motherfucking job, you better smile, nigga. That's why black people code switch in America. Right. Like, we talk one way in the house, and we talk another way outside. So I was really trying to give them the idea of the black experience, but Hannah Karp, who was the editor-in-chief for Billboard, was like, I think you should do this anonymous. And I'm like, why? Like, I thought it was I thought it was a love letter to my white friends. At least that's what I thought.
Right.
But she was like, as a white woman, I've went through this, and I just think it'd be good to protect you. And I was like, cool, put out. I don't give a fuck. I just was writing it for Aaron. But oh, my bad. The reason why I got the billboard was because when I wrote it to Aaron, I sent it to 2 other black executives at Warner, and they both was like, this is dumb. Why are you talking about how black people are treated in the music business when they only want to talk about George Floyd? I'm like, that's the fucking problem.
Wow.
So I feel bad because now I feel like, damn, my effort was fucked up. Mm-hmm. So I share it with I share it with my friend. You know Tab? Mm-mm. So I share it to my homeboy Tab. So I'm like, he liked a picture on Instagram. It's like 3 in the morning. He liked the picture. I hit the nigga like, I know you up, nigga. Answer. So he's like, what? It's like, he like 3 in the morning. He's like, Ray, what you call me for? I was like, nigga, I'm not being weird. I just look, bro. I just wrote a letter. I was trying to do something. Can you please take 5 minutes and read it? And the nigga was like, cool, send it to me. I read it right now. And he hit me back 5 minutes later. He was like, nigga, that shit made me almost tear up because that's my experience. You need to share that. And I was like, oh, you think so? Because in my mind, it was just me. It's like me doing this podcast, and when I leave, I'm not thinking about what I said on your podcast. I'm not like what did I say? Send me the footage. Like, I know whatever I said was in my heart. Yeah. So I know I spoke from my heart, so I don't ever worry about double backing and because I'm speaking from the heart. Yeah, that's real. And sometimes the heart hurts people. Yeah. Sometimes the heart hurts, and sometimes the heart gets hurt. So I'm thinking nothing of it. So I did it. It went out. So now I sent it, and then it got to Larry Jackson. And Larry Jackson, who is probably the most buttoned-up black man I've met in this business, calls me and tell me it's his experience. And by the way, Larry is head of like music at Apple. Damn. At Apple. So it's like, he's like, man, I experienced this. I'm like, for real, you too? I didn't even think it was. I was just trying to educate my brothers, my white brothers and sisters. And then it came out and it went crazy. And it was every black person knew I did it because what I wanted to do was I sent it to every black person I knew. Like, if I know you, I'm like, yo, read this letter. It's coming out tomorrow. I just want you to know I did it. If you align with it, share it. If you don't, cool. Everybody knew I did it already. So when it came out, niggas were celebrating. And then white people was, I guess, doing what white people do, quietly trying to figure out who did it. So then I got niggas calling me like, yo, it's people calling me. My white friends asked me who wrote it. And I'm like, what you want us to tell them? Is you or nah? I was like, nah. Then this lawyer, Dina LaPote, reached out to me and was like, Ray, I have some black employees. She also has black kids. She's a Jewish woman. She has black kids. And she was like, I've had friends, all my friends called me about your letter, and I had a couple that actually was crying. You need to stand on this because this letter needs a face. I'm like, okay, I guess so. So she said, I'm going to call Tom Corson and Aaron Bayshuk and tell them you wrote it. And she called and told them I wrote it. And then they said, oh, they did what white people do, I guess. They was passive-aggressive. Oh, great. God, Ray wrote it. But deep down inside, he was mad. I'm a nigga. You could have just told me you was mad. I would have asked you why. We would have got to the other side, and it would have been over. But they didn't tell me that. They just told me they was cool with it. Whole time, they couldn't wait to cut my throat. Telling me, what you want, what you want, what you want. And I was thinking, I don't want nothing. I just wanted to enlighten you guys. I didn't write this letter to get something. But they was like, nah, but what do you want, though? What do you want, Ray? And I was like, nothing. They was like, think about it. And I just never said nothing. And then, boom, my contract was up 6 months out. They didn't give me the grace. They just told me, they kept telling me a new contract is coming, new contract is coming. And then 3 days before the new contract is supposed to come, they told me, we don't want you no more. And I knew that they did that deliberately to kill me because I called a lawyer at the company. And when I knew I was getting a new contract, and she said to me, she said, Ray, they're going to take care of you because you're the best guy they got. Just don't write no more letters. Ooh. What are you talking about? What happened? She was like, oh, they didn't like that letter. You don't know. I'm like, so I confronted them. I'm like, yo, I didn't have a problem with the letter. Who said that? That's why I knew 2 Chainz has a line where he says, sometimes I had them thoughts. I'm too real for this shit. That's how I be feeling. Like, because my mind is like, hey, bro, I feed my mom with this. I can't afford to play. Yeah. If the ship about to go down, somebody tell me, because if the ship was going down, I'll tell y'all. Yeah. But they didn't give me that grace. So I was cool with it. Boy, and, I just, I played the game. We all cool now. They did what they did. It's dirty politics. But shit.
Man, what's the pros and cons of working at a label, man?
The pros are everybody chases you. The pros are you hot. The pros are wherever you go, people going to treat you like you somebody because of who you with. Mm-hmm. And the cons are you can't do shit.
You can't do nothing.
It's golden handcuffs. It's like you got handcuffs on everywhere you go. People love you for the handcuff. Oh, he got gold in his wrist. Nigga, I can't open them.
Damn.
So now everybody like, I'm like, well, all I can do is this. But the minute somebody want to do it, I can't do that because I got golden handcuffs on. So they own you. When you have a job, you are owned. You are owned. And your intellectual property is owned. If you worked at a label and you started country rap tunes, they can technically take that from you.
Shit.
No, I'm saying, but that's where it works though.
No,
going
down. I'm the new book that I'm writing right now. I'm writing my mom's. I'm writing I'm writing my mom's memoir, and I'm writing about how in 1976 she programmed robots that delivered the mail in the Sears Tower, but she worked for Sears, so Sears owns that patent. The crazy part about it is a little piece of the code that she used to program those robots is in ChatGPT, but like my family don't get paid for that. Sears Corporation does.
Yep. I already know. It's a fucked up game. It's an ugly game. But we got to educate ourselves. What people don't understand is that black people, we didn't have the opportunity to have generational wealth. We didn't know what that was. We didn't have access to that. We were just looking for generational jobs.
There it go. Man.
While we help somebody else build their wealth. So now that we have access to the information, it's our job to educate each other. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think if you're Jewish, you should be educating your Jewish people. If you're black, we should all be allowed to educate our own on how to interact with each other better. Because that's all we know. We know ain't nobody leaving.
Right.
So we really trying to figure out a better way to do it. And we got to just talk to each other. And that's what I think it's about.
Communication is everything, man.
Yeah, and we gotta as in an insular way get back together as a community. So one of the things that I know I've heard you talk about on your podcast and different platforms is this like created war and divide between black men and black women. Ooh. So how do we go about fixing that? Because I think we've probably reached the mode where everybody's a little bit tired of the war. So it's like, what is the resolution? What's the fix on the other side of it?
The resolution and the fix is communication. Like, we ain't leaving each other. We have golden handcuffs connecting us, keeping us together. And sometimes that makes us resent each other. You can take the golden handcuffs off if you want and date outside your race. You don't always have to date your race. It's probably preferred for most, but you don't have to. And so for me, I feel like black women have to give black men grace and black men have to give black women grace. But I think the biggest problem why the divide is happening is because the black man's voice is being killed. Every time a black man talks, he looks at being like hyper-masculine or toxic masculinity. And it's like, well, toxic masculinity has protected. Now, it has held women back also, but parts of it has protected them. So I'll give you an example. You might say protect black women. I think we all in here agree protect black women, right? But I'm a black man. I'm also a matured, seasoned black man that remembers what it was like to be a young, ignorant black man. So I might not have the wherewithal or the maturity to understand that just because that girl is walking down the street with her ass out, that it's not for me to grab it. She don't want my attention. I understand that now as a man. I understood as a child also. I never did those things, but you knew when a girl walked down the street and she showed her body, the attention she was going to get. Yeah. So for me, I feel like, how can I protect you when you're basically saying, I want to be free to do anything that goes in my mind, even if it attracts the wrong kind of attention? This is similar to your son. Like, I got on jury right now. Like, I wouldn't let my 15-year-old son wear this shit to school.
Right.
Right? Like, he might, like, because we know the kind of attention that brings. That's me protecting my black son. What if he was saying, fuck that, give me the jury, I'm a man, I've been tired and I would. It's like, dog, we got to work together, and black men should be allowed to lead. The black men that deserve it. And I think if we start getting that, that'll be it. Because I don't have those problems in my house. I don't have none of those problems. But I see so many of us, it's like I see artists complaining, man, why I can't get a chance? I'm like, dog, it's you. So when I see people complaining, it's that. My only complaint is that we don't listen to each other no more. And I'm tired of seeing black women over-sexualized in the media. I'm tired of it. I have a 7-year-old daughter. I don't want to see, I'm tired of seeing women twerking. I'm tired of it. And I love women.
You know what? I got a 9-year-old, man. I cut the radio on. I got to keep cutting that shit off.
Yeah.
I have to turn the channel to the damn R&B stations and the older stations. I can't even listen to the regular stations, man. I mean, I don't want to say no names, but a lot of these artists, they just saying whatever come today, man.
Not Sexy Red.
Oh, my God.
Sexy Red just got mad because she couldn't show up to a high school. Smelling like weed.
Wow.
Like, come on, y'all. Like, why the fuck is she at a high school? Like, that's the biggest problem. Like,
right, you like start from there.
Why she? Who thought that was a good idea?
Yeah.
Who thought that was a good idea, bro? Let me tell y'all something. Nothing scared Black America. The last time Black America was all together, it was all the black women had to say is, "Don't make me call your daddy." That was all you needed to say in the household. That was scared. That was it.
That was it.
And now, fuck the daddy. Fuck him. Now it's all about the bag. It's all about the bag. That's all women care about, the bag. Oh, she 21, dealing with 65-year-old. Get paid, younger. Like, why is that all we talk about? Yeah. It's the bag, nigga. Like, we the only race that focus on the bag and ain't got shit.
You ain't lying.
But I think also it's like the suppression of a generation, right? So like our generation, like the way we grew up and the way our viewpoint of where we saw things, to even just express the way that we were raised and to have the conversations that we were having, you know, it's like we're expected to walk on eggshells with our communication. I grew up in a house with, I'm the baby of 7 kids. My father, it was 3 girls in the house. Man, you couldn't even pick us up without coming in our house. If a dude pulled up in front of our house and blew, that meant we weren't going.
Yeah.
And I would tell them before they get there, hey, if you gonna pick me up, you gotta come inside. If you pull upside and blow, my dad is not gonna let me walk out of the house. It's not happening.
And now you got the black woman saying, shut the fuck up. He got money. Go with him. Dog, we gotta stop that. It's a scene in Paid in Full. It's a scene, and I think it started in the 80s. It's a scene in Paid in Full where the boyfriend comes in the house and he got the money and the mother's cooking dinner and the boyfriend is like, I don't want to eat this. You know, he says at the table, I don't want to eat this. And the mom was like, and he's like, I kind of want to go eat that. And the mom was like, took to her daughter and said, go with that nigga. Like, that's the word. A daddy wouldn't have been cool with that.
Man.
I don't give a fuck what you want, nigga. It's my table. Because we understand money doesn't equal respect. Respect is something that you have to do.
What's called? Boy, it's a lot of game being shared today. Speaking of that, so okay, tell me what's your favorite part about being a dad?
Man, everything.
Everything, right?
I
love it, man.
I ain't gonna lie,
I
bro.
love it, bro. That shit changed me, man.
It changed, bro. If you are a man and having a child did not change you, you need to look at yourself. Something is wrong. Yeah. Especially having a daughter. My son changed me. But he made me man up. My daughter softened me. She made me care about the world that I didn't care about the world leaving it to my son because I was preparing him for anything. Yeah. My daughter, I don't want to prepare for anything. I want her to have a great life and enjoy it. Yeah. And that's what really changed me as a human being. So that's why when being a dad is everything to me. Bro, I want like 100 kids if I could have them. Like,
man, I didn't even want kids at first, bro.
I love kids, bro.
Nah, I
kids
can't see myself without my daughter,
my son is like,
kids keep us young, bro. Kids keep us young. Kids give us purpose, bro. Mm-hmm. And in our community, we have kids too early. So we be struggling with our kids. So we can't even enjoy them because we trying to figure it out. And I want to encourage Black America to wait until you in your career to have your kids so you can enjoy being a parent. Because white people be fucking 45 years old with a 3-year-old. And black people be 45 years old with a 3-year-old grandchild. You know what I'm saying? It's because in our community we make that okay, and it's not okay, man. Yeah. We don't black people need to learn to enjoy life more. We are not living in the days no more. Slow down. You don't have to rush to get money. You don't have to rush to have kids. You don't have to rush to live life. And we only are taught that because we was born behind the 8 ball. So we trying to keep up. But we know our value now. So I don't give a fuck who you are. If you got some value out here, you gonna get that money.
Yeah, just be consistent. Consistency produces money.
Consistency produces money. Perfect. And bad energy runs it away.
That is a fact. So we gonna lighten it up for you.
Let go.
When you was growing up, what was your favorite cereal? Or your favorite cartoon? Or both? What was your favorite cereal cartoon combo? Because see me, I want to
because you gotta eat cereal
while you watching your favorite show. Because I'm
Ghostbuster cereal. That's easy. Ghostbuster cereal.
I ain't heard that in so long.
Ghostbuster cereal is my favorite, and my favorite cartoon was probably I'm gonna say He-Man. And the reason not He-Man. I'm gonna say Thundercats.
Yes.
I didn't say He-Man. And the reason I like the reason I like Thundercats so much was because
they had a
it was anytime Lionel needed something, the village. They could be like a Panther could be getting some ass. Yeah. Lionel thought that Thundercat sign. Panther got to get out that ass. It was a village. They loved each other, and to me they all knew. Nobody was like, well, what about me? Everybody knew when Lionel needed us. Yeah. They knew their role. Yeah. And that's why they all were stars. Yeah. That's why it works.
Even that boy Snarfer used to got
everybody. We haven't gotten a live action Thundercats yet. Like,
we've been waiting.
What's happening?
I heard it was working on it. Matthew McConaughey was supposed to be playing Lionel, but I don't know what happened. Dang. It needs to happen though.
That needs to happen.
They should let us do it.
That's my favorite cartoon too.
They should let us do it. That's how I look at the world. Fuck somebody make it. We should do it.
We should do it.
It's our child.
You know what? Imagine if it was the Thundercats movie, kind of like Black Panther, and it was all black.
Incredible.
Actors, the same way Black Panther was.
Incredible.
You know how big that would be?
Massive.
Incredible.
Come on, man. Put that in the play. Ray, I know you got
I'm
somebody in
sitting
your
next to the
phone.
plug
You
right
can
here.
call
I got to sit next to the plug right here.
I could get a
Come on.
distribution and a script. Y'all go
Let's
find
go.
a VC firm to fund it and let's go.
I want in.
I got crew too.
That's incredible.
Cut me in or cut it out, man.
I know that's real. So what's your favorite 3 books?
Ooh.
Well, I'll say there's 3 books that changed my life.
Yeah.
The first one is The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. 17 Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. I wish I could buy that for every black person in America because that changed my entire way of looking at money. It's incredible. It changed my life because it was clear. You know, sometimes you hear Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you hear the difference. But what he did, he spells it out. So he tells you, like, write down everything you've heard about money. Like, just what you heard in the house. And I wrote down what I heard in the house. Like, and he's literally in the book, he says, stop right here. Before we even get into the book, I need you to write down what you heard from money. He said, physically write it on a piece of paper. So I did it. Like, I'm broke. I ain't got a dime. Rich people aren't happy. All those things that I heard as a poor person about being money. And he used to write it down. Then he said, okay, is it written down? Then he says, now ball it up in a piece of paper and throw it in the trash and never let those words come in your mind again. And it never did again. Then he said, now I'm going to teach you the difference between rich people and poor people. Like one of the rules is rich people are bigger than their problems. Poor people are smaller than their problems. So anytime I have a problem, I have to ask myself, am I bigger than this? Because if I'm bigger than this, then I'm going to go out and be bigger than this. If I'm smaller than this, I shouldn't be playing the game anyway. So I would say that book. 48 Laws of Power. I will tell you if the Bible is the good book, the 48 Laws of Power is the evil book. But if you're trying to go out and do something good, you're going to have to face evil. So you need to learn how evil thinks and how evil works. And sometimes you might have to apply their tactics against them to get to the other side, which is, like I said, I learned and applied. And the third one I'm going to say is Malcolm Gladwell, who's my favorite author in the world. I would say The Outliers. The Outliers teaches you the importance of time. It teaches you the importance of the moment you're in. Because sometimes we be trying to figure out why things ain't working for us. The Outliers teaches you. Like, so I don't worry about being Jay-Z and Puff and Dre and all those guys because they were all born between 60, I think Dre and Jay-Z were both born in 68 and 60, no, both born in 69. Think about that. Dre was born 67, 68. So everybody who but then if you were too old, like L.A. Reid or those guys were older, you don't understand the power of hip hop. So you had to be of a certain age at a certain time to really be able to capitalize off a certain moment. Like it's like they talk about how Steve Jobs and them started Apple. Like you had to be between the ages of 17 and 21. If you was 15, you was too young. If you was 22, you was too old. They talk about the age and they talk about the timing. So now, instead of me trying to figure out why things aren't happening the way I thought they should happen for me, like it happened from them back then, it reminds me that they were born in the time where it was supposed to happen, which means now I got to figure out the time I was born and what I'm supposed to do. That's why, look at us, right? Think about it like this. Hip-hop used to be a taboo thing. This is the first time ever in time that hip-hop, the parents and the kids are listening to the same thing. Because my mom, when I was listening to hip hop in the late 80s, my mom was fucking listening to Luther Vandross or Freddie Jackson and grown music. That was kid music to her. When Drake and when that Kendrick Lamar Future record drops, me and my son, we in the car with my lady, we bumping that shit like singing that shit word for word. He 15.
Yeah.
I'm 44.
Yeah.
We listening to the same things.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Which now, here's the important part though, which means that there's a new dinner table for us. It's called hip hop. That's how we can talk. That's how we can build.
And express ourselves.
That's how we can express ourselves. Yeah. Music, graffiti, DJing, podcasting. Look at what happens with podcasting with hip hop now. Think about how black media is now taking shape. Yeah. Because now hip hop is everywhere. So now I'm old enough to be artists that are famous parents right now. I could be Kasana's father, right? Think about that. So it's like I can be that. So now we're all existing in the same ecosystem. So now we're trying to figure out how to respect each other. But these little niggas don't understand that you only have access to the money because of the time.
Yeah. Boy, preaching.
Timing is everything. That's what the Outliers taught me. So that's my 3 books.
I love that.
That boy is preaching, man. You gotta love it, man.
We need to pass a collection plate round up in this joint. Y'all go ahead, bless our guest pastor for the day with a little love offering.
You know what I'm talking about, man? Hold up, man. You gotta love it, man. All right, so look. I know you a big UGK fan. I remember you telling me when I saw you at the
I hope you're not about to ask me.
Versus. I saw you at the Versus.
Hold on, you're not gonna
Huh? What?
Y'all know about it.
Okay.
What happened?
UGK, A-Ball, and MJG. That's the biggest argument in Southern rap history.
I can say. So look.
I'm like, nigga, you don't think I know what's going on? That's why he starts off. So you're a big UGK fan, right? Hold up, nigga. I already know where it's going. I already know where it's going, but let's go. Let's have it.
Favorite UGK song?
Oh.
Favorite Ball and G song?
You cleaned that up nice.
You cleaned it up. 'Cause I thought you were going to say who's better. If you'd asked me who's better, man, I would have had to be honest.
I wasn't gonna do it.
Favorite UGK song, Murder.
Woo.
Favorite A-Ball and MGG song, I can't even give you one.
Ooh.
That's how much them guys mean to me. Like, I love UGK. I really love Pimp C. I wasn't I like Bun, but to me, Pimp C was the most unique Southern artist in Southern rap history.
You ain't gotta like it, but you gotta
I think he was different. Bun was a rapper. Pimp C was like a character.
Yeah, man.
So I always got to give it to A-Ball and MJG because I love both of them equally.
No.
And UGK, if you put all four of them together and I had to pick one, I'm picking Pimp. But if I had to pick a group, but it's gonna be Pimp, A-Ball, MJG, then Bun. So that's why.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something about Pimp that a lot of people don't know. A lot of them older songs in the early '90s on the first UGK album and the second one, Super Tight and Riding Dirty, and all them albums, Pimp was not only producing them.
That's another thing people don't know.
He was singing on half the hooks and niggas ain't know.
Bruh.
He was singing on that shit, bro.
No,
Pinky Ring and all them songs.
Nobody in rap history can start a song better than Pimp C.
Man.
I don't give and that's including Jay-Z, Drake,
love.
Ye, every nigga I love. Ain't nobody can fuck with gang fucked up. I ain't got no friends.
In my cup, all my cup got living wood.
Nigga, think about that's another verse. Nigga, that nigga said, gang fucked up, I ain't got no friends.
Ooh.
Now I spent my last $70,000 on the drop top Benz. That nigga he was just said it. It didn't matter what was said after that. That's why I think he's probably the most unique rapper in rap history, and I just wish that he had a chance for the world to see, because he was also a real stand-up nigga. And it's hard to be talent and stand-up. Because some niggas are talented, and I mean they're not a stand-up nigga, but they just don't stand up. That's not their personality. He stood up, and that's why I love Pimp.
Imagine this. Imagine being signed to Pimp as a producer and an artist. At 15, 16,
greatness,
17
greatness,
years old.
Greatness.
Man, look, man, this nigga Pimp, bro. Okay, so my older brother was Pimp's road manager. So in the early 90s, he would always tell Pimp, man, you gotta listen to my big brother, man. I mean, you gotta listen to my little brother. You gotta listen to him. He dope. You gotta listen to him. That was back when I was just rapping.
Yeah.
I was rapping my ass off.
Yeah.
But Pimp didn't respond until, like, put it like this. I met him in like 93. I didn't do a song with him until 99, bro.
Exactly.
He kept telling me, no, that ain't it. That ain't it, young Mo. That ain't it, young nigga. Make the drums hit harder. That ain't it, young nigga. Give me something else. Nah, bring me something else, young nigga. That ain't it either.
Love that nigga,
and finally, when I sent the right song to him, bro, he came to my studio and never left. Never left.
And
I couldn't make him leave. That's how serious that shit was.
But let me tell you something. So to answer the question, my favorite A-Ball and MJG, anything is Coming Out Hard.
Yeah,
Coming out hard, and the Southern Playlistic Cadillac Funky Music are my two most important Southern albums of my life. And only reason I say that is because Tupac, Me Against the World, and the Thug Life album and Biggie's Life After, all those played a role. But the records that shaped me as a young man, Coming Out Hard, Southern Playlistic, because I was 14. It goes back to what age I was. I was ready to receive something different. I'm not 13 anymore. I'm not a kid. I'm kind of like feeling like a young man. So I want to hear what young men are saying or older men are saying. I want to be like them. So Coming Out Hard is my top 5 classic albums ever made.
You guys, I'm gonna tell you.
But I gotta say one thing. I just say one thing, but it's very important. I'm gonna say this. The most important rap song in Southern country rap tunes history.
Okay, this is what we've been waiting for.
Easy. International Players Anthem.
Damn right.
I can tell you why.
Correct.
You got UGK.
500 Alex.
You got UGK, basically the Underground Kings. You got Outkast, basically the commercial gods. And it was produced by 3 6 Mafia.
Man.
So
that's the part people
that's
don't
the part
know.
people don't understand. It was Memphis, Texas, and Georgia coming
the
together
South.
once.
The whole South.
And
With a F.
it wasn't like a, and I'm not being disrespectful to Khaled, but it wasn't like a Khaled record where it was like, it felt like it was curated like they knew that they was making the greatest rap song in Southern rap history, and they was like, and the only other record that might come close might be like Stay Fly, because it had Ball MJG, 3-6, and Buck. But then International Players Anthem is just cleaner, is not as aggressive, it's players. Like I could play it with my mom, I could play it with my kids. Pimp C sets it up, Dre sets it up, Pimp C takes it home, and then it's just crazy.
You know what? I got a fun fact about that song.
Tell me. No, you showed me footage of the video.
I recorded Pimp and Bun verses on that song.
Yep.
And they said Dre didn't want to rap on the song unless they took out all the drums. That's why Dre rapping at the beginning over just music.
But
look, Big didn't want to rap on it unless it had all drums and no music.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like it was a perfect song, bro.
Listen to that song, bro. It's
and
definitely
it got the Willie Hutch sample in it. Come on, bro. It's perfect. Sorry,
It is
it's
the
perfect,
record.
bro. Perfect.
It's the perfect record. What I was gonna say about Ball and G was, first of all,
talk to me.
MJ, also, when you go look at those early A-Ball and MJG records, it's a lot of production credits on there for MJ that people don't pay attention to. Because when they first...
He was producing.
A lot of that stuff. But the thing about Ball and G, because I remember when their records came out, I went down to the local record store, got a tape. Actually got a record of the record. Ball and G was the first time you had that level of like pimp player music that the women loved. See, I got put on that record by my sister. My sister was playing that record over and over and over again. So then I went and played it, and all my homegirls was playing it. And at the time, it was a lot of records like that women then we didn't listen to. We wouldn't play those records. We didn't vibe with those records. We didn't connect with those records. Ball and G was the first time that it felt like somebody made even though it wasn't really for us, it felt like somebody made a record for the ladies. Right. Coming Out Hard was like, I played that on loop.
Nigga,
that's the only. If you linked up with him, you already know.
Bro, if you put a gun to my head and told me I gotta recite one album word for word from the intro to the last song, it's Coming Out Hard. Easy.
Yeah. Okay, so look, switch it up.
Go ahead.
And we almost through, but I need your top 3 R&B, dead or alive, and rap. R&B first though.
R&B artists, albums, singers,
artists,
male, female,
just as a whole. It don't matter. It can be male or female. R&B.
R&B. It kind of feels easy to me because we talking about. I always like to go from the 90s up because that's kind of when it became
real
our
R&B.
era. No, that's just our era. Like that was when swag mattered. Like Luther Vandross was singing "Here and Now" with a tie on. Here and now.
Yeah.
It wasn't about us. It was kind of like about the song and the voice.
Yeah.
90s is when it became about the sauce, the nigga.
Jodeci.
So I'm gonna say, are we talking about groups or
Well, whatever you want.
Oh, that
it could be groups. It could be a solo act.
See, I threw him off when I said
that's she threw me off.
Put it like this. What do you listen to the most?
Jodeci.
Okay then.
But New Edition.
Okay.
Kells.
Hold up, man.
Usher. Yeah, I would say those. I was gonna go Michael Jackson, Prince, but I like incredible shit. I like high shit. I like shit that, like, I like to hear shit that it felt like it was God was in the room with the geniuses. Yeah. So like a lot of these R&B artists don't move me because they don't talk to women for me. They talk to women for themselves. So like they'll say, like, so when Trey Songz says, "The neighbors know my name, they singing Trigger, Trigger," it's like I'm not gonna play that with my girl.
Right.
But I'll definitely play "Feeling on Your Booty" because it's not Kel saying she wants Kels to feel on her booty. He's just saying "Feeling on Your Booty." It's just kind of player. So I'm from the South, man.
Hold up.
We like player music. I was raised off player shit since I was 14 years old. I didn't listen to nothing but player shit. Player Fly, Player G, nigga. I listened to Memphis and Texas shit my whole childhood. Outkast and Goody Mob was the only Atlanta thing that we really kind of took ownership of until Troy came.
Yeah. That's real. Okay, and rap. Top 3.
Hove,
of course.
Hove.
Man.
But for the sake of being respectful, Hove, Ye, big. And I gotta say, Pac too, but Pac wasn't the greatest rapper as much as he was the greatest speaker that just rapped. Like Biggie was creative with the throw your hands in the air. If you was a true player, he found ways.
More
to
Biggie verses memorized.
He tried to. But Tupac verses mattered to me. Biggie was relatable, but from a street hood nigga standpoint. Pac was almost like from the future. So he was so Big was talking about shit that mattered today, like throw your rollies in the sky, wave them side to side to keep your hands high. Like that's just shit. That's why I got a Rolex. That's why I got a couple that line, right? But I didn't want to buy Rolex because of Pac. I wanted to take care of my mother because of Pac. I wanted to make the world better because of Pac. So I'm trying to say I wanted to be a player because of Big, and Jay made me want to get money, and Ye makes me feel like I'm not alone.
Oh, love, man.
So I be thinking about this shit.
Kanye. I love Kanye.
He makes me feel not alone in the confusion of why the world is the way it is. Yeah. Because sometimes we'll just go with how the world is and think that that's normal. But Ye, like I was listening to, I swear to God, I was driving home last night and just All Falls Down came up. And I was like, just like, look, like mind you, I'm pulling into my driveway, long driveway, big ass house. But I couldn't help but to go back to when that album came out, when I was living in an apartment with my two roommates and I had my artists and everybody sleeping on the couch. And if you listen to what he was saying, all he did was make everybody who was losing not feel alone. Yeah. It seems we live in the American dream. It seems we live, but the people highest up, they got the lowest self-esteem. Now it makes everybody in the bottom feel better about themselves because now it's like, they got the lowest. They do the prettiest people do the ugliest things. He's revealing what the rich think. That's what made it matter so much because when I was broke as fuck when that came out, and now that I am a millionaire, I still can relate to it. That's why I stay away from people and I just kind of stand my ground. I just do what I do. Yeah. Because they do have a low self-esteem. They don't know what they're doing. So he wasn't wrong. So I just had to get that out there.
That's real.
I love Kanye. You know, Kanye from my neighborhood, so I'm going to always love him.
And niggas said shine because they hate us, floss because they degrade us. We trying to buy back our 40 acres. And for that paper, look how low you a stoop. He's talking to himself. Straight up. Even though you in the Benz, you still a nigga in the coupe. But he also says, I want to buy a Benz before I have my boy. Like he's talking about himself, so he's really calling himself out with everyone else. Yeah. That's what make you love him.
Yeah. I love him. Man, hold up. Man, hey man, I got a gift for you, bro. I got to give you something, man.
Thank you, my brother.
Support Southern Hip Hop shirt for you, man. It's some real live pimping going on.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Support Southern Hip Hop should be a movement, but you know.
Come on, man. Come on, let's make it one, man.
But I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like that needs to be worn from everybody who's not from the South, because the South saved this motherfucker.
You ain't lying.
You ain't never lied.
The South is the baby that fucking came up and saved everybody. Just being honest. I mean, New York has had its moment, but they can't get along. The West Coast is too different. Everybody's living too good out there. The South is where they hungry at.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that we still saying the South got something to say. 25 years later, almost 30 years later, lets you know that's why the South is shit, because they wake up with a chip on their shoulder.
You know what? Let me tell you what Pimp used to say. When he used to be like, man, without the South, where's the East and West Coast gonna go on tour at?
That's real.
Because the South is bigger than everything, and it's the most important.
Yeah, and it's also.
He say, man, where them niggas gonna go on tour, fool? They gotta come to us.
By the way, only thing Pimp C ever said I don't agree with is that Atlanta ain't the South.
No, he said it was the South.
But he was being funny. I know he's being funny because he said
it was Eastern Standard Time.
Y'all on Eastern Time. I'm like, nigga, well, we still in the South though.
But we are on the East Coast.
But we still in the South.
We are in the South.
While we in Southeast.
We are. There you go.
That's the only thing. That's literally out of everything Pimp ever said. That's the only thing I was like. Okay, he was mad that day.
He was pissed.
He was on Atlanta radio that day.
He was pissed that day.
Yeah.
But
well, if y'all don't walk away from this episode with your notebook full, with your brain expanded, and with your eyes open, then you sleep.
Oh, look, man.
Dear black people, keep your head on the swivel.
I swear to God.
See everything coming, because it's our time right now. But if we wait for somebody to knock on our door and give it to us, we're going to pass it. That's why your head got to be on the swivel. You got to see that opportunity in front of you and go get that shit.
Straight up.
Y'all heard the man.
If I had to say one thing, that's all I care about. It's us being better.
There it is.
Extend each other the same grace you extend that damn McDonald's ice cream machine. You know that damn thing ain't gonna work, and you still trying to order goddamn Blizzard.
Hold up. And hey, man, you got any final shout outs or what you got coming up next that don't nobody know about, man? Talk to me.
Well, I wrote a book.
Okay.
Kimberly actually inspired me to do it.
Okay.
Kimberly actually was the person that was encouraging me and like my support system and going through it.
Because you're a genius.
And by the way, I just want to say something. That's why we should support each other. Because we never know how we gonna need to show up for each other again. Because as soon as me even talking about doing a podcast forever, right?
Yeah.
As soon as you told me you had who?
Hold up. Kimbo Slice.
And what I say? Oh, damn.
Killing it.
Nigga,
You finna kill him.
this is the first thing I've set up that my publicists don't even know about. He gonna be pissed at me. But hey, all right, Joe, don't worry about it. This is Kimberly. I gotta be with her. But that's why I'm saying that, because we gotta support each other. It's important.
That's real. Well, man, I appreciate the love. I appreciate
Thank
you
you,
coming
thank
out.
you, thank you.
We got the culture
coming.
referee, Ray Daniels, in the building. Y'all
My
go.
favorite little brother.
Let's go.
Player.
Player shit. Let's go.
Country rap tunes, bitch.
We've been making music ever since the crack boom. Country rap tunes.
Coming down.
Country rap tunes. Gotta have guitars and a lot of backbone. Come to the South once, I bet you'll be back soon.
Coming down.
Country rap tunes.
Coming down.
Country rap tunes.
You know what I'm saying? For real, man, you got to feel my young partner, Cory Mo.